In the emerald heart of the jungle, where sunlight filters through a cathedral of leaves, life begins anew in the most fragile of forms. High in the ancient canopy, a story of instinct, vulnerability, and profound family bonds is about to unfold. This is the story of a first-time mother and the precious first day of her newborn's life. Perched upon the sturdy trunk of a kapok tree, a female monkey sits in quiet exhaustion. Cradled tenderly in her arms is her infant, a being who has known this world for less than 4 hours. This is JAZZY, the eldest daughter of the matriarch Jane. Now she has crossed the threshold into motherhood herself. She rests high in the treetop, her body weary from the miracle of birth. Like all new mothers, there is a tentative quality to her movements. She is not yet practiced in the art of holding and positioning such a fragile charge. We watch as she gently attempts to settle her baby against the rough bark of the tree. For a moment, she adjusts her grip, freeing one hand to steady herself. It is a small, quiet struggle, her first attempt to balance her own need for rest with the overwhelming demand of her new responsibility. The infant, still nameless to our eyes, stirs. It turns its tiny head from the warmth of its mother's chest, its blurry eyes seeking shapes in a vast green universe. This is its first conscious look at the world. But in this jungle, peace is fragile. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. Luki, the dominant male of the troop and its chief defender, arrives on a routine patrol. His presence sends a visible wave of tension through JAZZY. She stiffens, her exhaustion momentarily overridden by alarm. In her weakened state, a confrontation is unthinkable. Her only priority is the vulnerable life in her arms. The little one, perhaps sensing its mother's anxiety, mimics her gestures. It reaches clumsily for a nearby leaf, a nascent lesson in foraging. Yet, its primal instinct persists. It nuzzles back, seeking the comfort and nourishment of its mother's milk. JAZZY, understanding its need, but wary of the looming presence, makes a decision. With a swift, protective motion, she gathers her baby close and retreats, descending to a lower, more concealed thicket to wait in silence. The threat passes. As Luki's patrol moves higher into the canopy, a familiar face appears. Jonah, Jazzy's younger sister, approaches. Finding a moment of safety, Jazzy returns to an open perch, settling beside her sister. It is a small return to normalcy. Now, with her sister nearby, Jazzy holds her baby. But her eyes are not for the infant. They are scanners, perpetually moving left, right, upward into the dappled light, downward into the shadowy understory. Every rustle, every call is assessed. Motherhood has made her hyper-aware. Her love manifests as constant vigilance. Jonah remains a quiet, supportive presence. But the jungle's rhythm is unpredictable. Lukey's group circles back, their boisterous energy causing tension once more. Without a sound, Jazzy understands the cue. She parts from Jonah, moving to a different seat, a different tree. Safety for a newborn is a fluid concept, constantly negotiated. The infant, whom we might call Javi, is an attentive shadow. Where Jazzy goes, tiny fingers mimic the action. When she deftly catches a passing insect, Jazzy watches, its eyes wide with the blueprint of survival. This is the first curriculum of the jungle, observation. Every gesture from mother to child is a silent lesson, carefully imparted. A respite seems to come. Lukey's group settles at a more comfortable distance. And here, in a patch of sunlight, Jazzy finally finds a moment of peace. She sits, Jazzy held close, and for the first time, her posture softens into something resembling rest. Observing Jazzy cradle her child, we see the universal signature of new motherhood. Her embrace, while loving, is awkward. The infant seems to sink into a fold of fur rather than being securely positioned. This is her firstborn. There is no muscle memory for this, only instinct and a steep learning curve. She leans back, her eyes closing for precious seconds at a time. The profound fatigue that follows the trial of birth is evident. In this, she is not alone. Across species, the mothers of the wild wear this same weary, devoted expression. It is the beautiful, taxing price of new life, and it is perfectly, profoundly normal. Perched on the branch, Jazzy's hold, however loving, is not conducive for feeding. Little Javi begins to signal, not with cries, but with a relentless rooting motion, nuzzling, pushing, its mouth seeking. Again and again, it gestures toward its mother's chest. The message is simple and urgent. I am hungry. The milk is here. The infant's body speaks a language older than time, and finally, the mother understands. But Jazzy does not immediately offer her breast instead in a move that seems startling to us. She gently places Javi face down against the broad, textured tree trunk. The infant, instead of crying, goes quiet. Its small hands pat the strange surface. Its eyes take in the intricate landscape of moss and bark. It is learning to touch, to feel, to encounter the very substance of its world. This is no neglect. This is a vital first lesson. The mother is teaching her child that the world is not just a warm chest. It is also rough bark, cool moss, and solid support. On this, its very first day, Javi is learning to trust not only its mother, but the tree that is its home. And in this tender moment, a shadow of sadness passes, felt perhaps only by us. Jazzy's own mother, the wise matriarch Jane, is not here to see her grandchild. Just before Javi's birth, tragedy struck. Jane, her life weathered by many seasons, fell from her arboreal realm. The accident left Jazzy and Jonah alone, a sisterhood without their guiding center. Now, Jazzy's burden is twofold. She must navigate the terrifying waters of first-time motherhood while also providing stability for her younger sister. She is no longer just a daughter. She is a mother and a pillar all at once. Returning to Jazzy and Javi, we see a quiet understanding forming. Jazzy, seated once more, cradles her baby and succumbs to her exhaustion, her eyes heavy. But Javi does not sleep. It sits awake in the circle of her arms, playing quietly with its own feet, simply existing. It is as if the infant, in its primal wisdom, understands the depth of its mother's weariness and grants her this peace. The troop's social fabric continues to weave around them. A member approaches, seemingly to greet the new mother, but Jazzy's body tenses again. This is not a regular trooper. It is Brighton, a known aggressor, sometimes a kidnapper of young. The tension is palpable. Brighton, however, does not press. It merely observes from a high corner, a reminder that trust in the troop is complex and layered. After a prolonged, watchful silence, Jazzy decides this perch no longer feels secure. With immense care, she shifts Javi, securing the infant against her belly, and embarks on a slow, deliberate journey through the branches. Every movement is calculated for the cargo she carries. She arrives at a new location, nearer to the troop's core. Here, she exchanges soft vocalizations, low grunts, and gentle hoots with other females.
It is conversation as reassurance. I am here. We are safe. In this new spot, Jazzy resumes her quiet vigil, and Javi resumes its study.
Awake and alert, the tiny head turns, its eyes capturing moving leaves, floating butterflies, the silhouette of a distant bird. This is no passive viewing. This is the active, hungry absorption of a mind building its very first map of reality. The world is a puzzle, and Jazzy is diligently collecting every piece. The true strength of the troupe now reveals itself. A close female friend, perhaps an aunt-like figure, approaches. She does not seek to hold the baby. Instead, she begins to groom Jazzy, her fingers moving gently through her fur. It is a massage, a gesture of solidarity and care. Under this ministrative comfort, Jazzy's head finally nods and she slips into a deep, albeit brief, sleep. The friend, her task complete, departs as quietly as she came. For now, mother and child rest in true peace. As the afternoon sun warms the canopy, other troop members visit. They sit beside Jazzy, not touching, but communicating through a subtle lexicon of glances, lip smacks, and soft touches on the shoulder. This is their secret language of solidarity, a way of saying, "We see you. You are one of us. Your child is ours." In a world of constant threat, this social grooming of the spirit is as vital as the physical kind. Fortified by rest and social bonds, Jazzy makes a bold move. She carries Javi down from the canopy to the dappled light of the forest floor. This is a new classroom. Here, other mothers with older infants are playing. Javi is placed on the soft earth, its first contact with the ground. It sits, wobbling, as Jazzy keeps a firm hand nearby. She vocalizes with the other mothers, a council of experience and shared purpose, while the next generation begins its earthly explorations side by side. Jonah, the young aunt, joins them on the ground. She sits close to her sister, not yet a helper, but a companion. The dynamic has shifted irrevocably. With their mother gone, Jonah no longer has a central figure to orbit. Now, she orbits her sister and this new, mesmerizing niece. She too has a new role to learn, that of the aunt. Jonah's curiosity blossoms into clear affection. She reaches out, longing to hold her tiny niece. But Jazzy, the protector, gently but firmly blocks her. The risk is too great. An overenthusiastic aunt could drop the infant or draw unwanted attention. Jonah, understanding the rebuff, does not protest. Instead, she channels her love into service. She begins to groom Jazzy again, her touch careful and devoted. It is a blessing, a giving of strength that allows the new mother another precious moment of rest within the circle of family. And here, we witness the beautiful, resilient love that has emerged from loss. These two sisters, Jazzy and Jonah, have learned to care for each other in the absence of their mother. They sit together, a tangle of fur and familial duty, offering comfort, offering love. It is a silent pact of mutual survival. One cannot help but feel that if matriarch Jane could see them now, her heart would swell. To see her granddaughter safe, and her own daughters, one a weary but devoted new mother, the other a caring aunt holding each other up. This is her legacy, not just lineage, but love. As the golden light of evening gilds the treetops, the troop's rhythm shifts. The time has come to choose a sleeping site, a decision led by the defenders like Luki. JAZZY, with Javi now sleeping soundly against her, gathers herself for the final journey of the day. She moves slowly, deliberately, following the troop's flow to a dense, high thicket, chosen for its safety from nocturnal predators. She settles on a sturdy fork in the branches, drawing her infant close. Around her, the troop quietens. Jonah curls up nearby. The first monumental day is over. For JAZZY, it was a day of first sights, first touches, first lessons. For JAZZY, it was a day of profound transformation from daughter to mother, from an individual to a guardian of the future. It was a day of exhaustion, anxiety, and instinct, but also of quiet support from a sister and a troop. Their journey has only just begun. But on this first day, love, in all its raw and beautiful forms, proved to be the most powerful instinct of all.